All right, so we're not going to be able to edit this or anything like that. We're already broadcasting. This is already going on YouTube. So we're just going to get started. We are going to be playing Among the Sleep while we discuss Child's Play. Rob and I went to go see this, was it last week, week ago, 2 weeks?
Yes.
Yes. All right. So I figured Among the Sleep would be a good option for us to talk over it. Go ahead and turn the volume up so Rob can actually hear it. Are you still can't? What do you mean? How do you find it? I sent you an invite.
New commands are available.
Go to our page. What are you talking about commands? Why are you looking at commands?
I'm just smashing buttons violently now because I don't like this YouTube app.
I swear.
Oh,
look,
I found it.
Okay, apparently we're live. Good. So we're just gonna go ahead.
There's a new live stream now with live chat.
Okay. All right. So are you? My children are here. All right. Good. So you're. Whoa, sweetie. Okay, calm it. It's okay. Philip, stop fighting. Let her watch that, please. Good. Awesome. All right, so we're going to do a new story while we play this. All right? Sound good? Are you watching, Rob?
I'm watching.
Okay. Son of a bitch. This is far more difficult than it needs to be. Stop touching her.
I did.
Why am I watching a Sekiro video?
High five to...
What do you mean you're watching a Sekiro video?
I think I clicked the wrong link.
Philip, what are you talking about? No, it says somebody is watching. Somebody is currently... No, now they're not.
Oh my god, I've got so many tabs open.
Why do you have so many tabs open? Rob, this is literally the simplest way we could figure out how to do this. And you're not doing it. Like, I can pull it up immediately on my phone and
I've got it. I think I have it figured out now. Are you there now? It sounds like you've left.
No, I'm still here. I'm literally watching it on my phone to show you how easy it is.
No, I'm still here. Well, no, I got it figured out now. I think we're past that.
Are we past that? Okay, good. So there's a slight delay apparently. So whatever.
How do I mute the volume on one?
Oh, for fuck! What do you mean?
Well, I'd like to mute the volume on one.
On one what?
On like the YouTube video, but then I can still hear you.
I have no idea, Rob.
I think we figured. I think we got it. I think I can deal with it.
You got this.
To hear myself twice. I
think
we're pretty. I think we're solid now.
Good. I'm glad. So what do we? All right, we're gonna do a new story here. But the thing is, this is only playing as background while we discuss Child's Play. Remember, this is just because this was a, somewhat apt way to talk about it through the medium by which we commune with the world, right?
I completely agree.
Okay, good. So I don't know. This is all good. So, all right, Child's Play. I mean, feel free to question random things that you see on here. That's fine. But let's go ahead and start with you because you're a much bigger fan of the original Child's Play. I'm going to skip this. You're a much bigger fan of the original Child's Play than I am. I enjoy them, but you're a giant Child's Play fan, right? So,
I'm just a massive Child's Play fan.
Correct, like absurdly, stupidly so. Look at my creepy baby legs. So what were your thoughts with regards to this versus the originals? Like, compare and contrast, right?
Well, I mean, I felt that this one had it had no stakes in it. It just was a series of very boring events.
A series of like, okay, so, oh, um, like basically you're talking motivational wise for Jesus Christ, motivational wise for like Chucky, the people. Oh Jesus, Chucky,
I
the
said
main
what I said.
characters, or totally, man. But I'm trying to figure out like what. That's a teddy bear, Philip,
Why is it moving?
because it's creepy as balls.
Soccer yet, eh?
Um, so no, like
Play a game.
when you say it
Well, no,
was
it's just this movie. This movie is basically like, well, look, Aubrey Plaza's here. Look, she has a kid with a hearing aid.
uh-huh.
Look,
Turn around.
Let's spend 45
Hamill-
minutes
Mark
on
Hamill- Mark
needless
Hamill's the
exposition.
voice.
Yeah. Well, and then let's also.
it was a whole bunch of look.
Where
Look,
is
we
the teddy
could do
bear?
something cool with this, and then, nah, never mind. Hold on. And then it was like we bring in some friends, and then no, we're not going to use them. In the first
Yeah.
one, they pretty much used everything. They used everything.
Like
they
it actually,
used-
it set up and then paid off what it set up,
Yeah,
like-
this just kept setting stuff up and then not
and
paying
then
anything
never
off.
never paid it off. Yeah. No, and that's pretty much what I thought too. Like I thought there were some really good things that they tried to do. I wasn't paying attention. What the shit am I supposed to do? This
You're
might
supposed
just
to
be
press options.
Where was options?
I don't know.
Did it say press options? Oh,
It did on my screen.
okay.
Are you there? Are you put your
Okay.
hands up?
Okay. Whoa. Philip, stop. Watch your video. I'm
Oh
over
my
here.
God.
I know. I'm being parent of the year over here. No. Like, all right. So, one of the main issues that I had was because they had a lot of ideas that I really liked. Like, there are a lot of good ideas in there. I liked the idea. I actually did like the idea of changing him from a serial killer to this innocent doll who really just wants to be his friend, you know?
Yeah, but then they didn't use any of that.
No, they didn't. The problem is they spent so long trying to develop, look at this innocent doll and look what a jerk everybody is to him for like literally no reason, you know?
Yeah, they're almost setting it up to feel bad for him, but then you don't feel bad for him, and it's everywhere.
The thing is, like,
Quite cold over there.
what the hell's cold over where?
Ice cold.
Jesus. So,
Quite cold over there.
fuck this. See, this whole idea. Oops. This whole idea of playing this game is just going to be distracting, honestly. But, like,
Pretty warm.
because it'd be one thing if it wasn't, like, asking me to do things. But it's asking me to do things.
What is it telling you to do now?
I think the teddy bear is telling me to go in the closet. Look at his eyes. Look at his cold, dead eyes. God damn it. All right, I'm in the closet. Oh, no. Not supposed to go in there.
It's still cold.
The shit was I talking about? Oh, yeah. So, him being this innocent thing, everything's cold. Jesus Christ, I fucking hate this bear. I hate it. Okay. Hold on. I'm getting warmer to something. Jesus. Let's see if I can put this box on his head. Yeah, this is definitely the perfect thing to play for Child's Play, because this thing is creepy as hell, and it reminds me of the new Chucky.
I don't want anything to do with that game. That game has got the demons in it.
Well, it's got the demons in it, but it's also like everything is cold. What are my objectives? Does it tell me? So, anyways, screw this game. Whatever. We'll I'll keep wandering around while he says cold. But so the just gonna keep saying cold. The whole idea, like I said, I really liked about him being an innocent doll, him just being a robot, and he was just learning because of, you know, the horrible situations they kept putting him in, right?
Yeah.
But then, like, the straw that broke his back was Aubrey Plaza's character completely jumping off the deep end for no reason. Like, regarding the, when he just randomly says to her boyfriend,
Super warm.
is this what I wanted?
You found it.
Oh, Jesus. That's what I was looking for. Like, when he says something like, I forgot the guy's name.
Wow. Is that the
So-and-so
I
is
forgot
such
his
a
name.
jerk, blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden, she freaks out, even though he said that to her, I'm pretty sure, right? Like,
No, he did.
Yeah. So, she knew that he felt this way. It's not like he said it to the guy, you know? This whole thing, like, he didn't have anything to do with the dysfunctioning toy that she gave him, knowing that it was dysfunctional. Like, the thing broke because she got him a shitty toy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so all of a sudden it's going to be his fault and the toy's fault. So let's get rid of the damn toy. Let's lock it in a closet and he can play with it an hour a day. Or an hour a day. And that was the whole catalyst for Chucky becoming evil. Essentially, that was the breaking point.
Yeah.
Like, the whole thing, it just really did not add up.
No,
And
it's
then-
like I said, they had like a bunch of like kind of like pretty decent ideas, and then I don't think anybody knew
Unless we reach
how to capitalize on any of them. The detective character was a good character,
He was
And-
great, man.
and they didn't use him good enough. The mom was a good character. They didn't really use her good enough. All of
No.
his little friends, they didn't use at all,
Yeah.
except for to kind of give some turmoil with him.
Yeah.
And it just none of it really worked, in my opinion.
No.
And then the boyfriend character, that was kind of good, and that was like really the only on-screen kill that was even inventive.
Well, and honestly, though, he wasn't even... The problem was, he was like... Yeah, he wasn't likable. And I guess it's almost like the whole other family thing was added in because they were like, you know what? We haven't
have
made
to
this
do
guy...
something to fill time.
Well, they didn't need to do that. Like, for an hour and a half long movie, the movie felt long as shit. But...
Oh, the movie
the-
felt 4 hours.
Yeah. And it was
Me and
because
you
of all
left
the
and we're
needless...
Like, oh my! Me and you left, and we're like, huh? It's still daylight. How
I
is
remember-
that possible? We've been in here all night.
I remember looking at my phone and just being like, wow, this is where we are now. Like, it's only 6:30 and this thing started at like 5:50. What is this?
show you something.
But the
Well,
whole...
and they had so many different avenues they could have gone down, but they didn't
Ugh.
have the guts to go with any of them.
No. Well, and again, like with the boyfriend character, it was almost like midway through they realized, wow, we have not made this person nearly enough of a, you know, piece of crap, right? So we're going to have to do something with him. So let's make him have a wife and child.
Shut the doors completely.
Yeah.
Shut the doors complete, Jesus. The children yelling in the background. So, like, even at that added virtually nothing. Like, they didn't show the shock of the family. The family didn't care. That they were just there for a split second, and then they just disappeared, right?
Yeah. No, exactly.
That didn't factor into... I mean, they didn't go on any kind of angle where Aubrey Plaza's character was a suspect, you know, or anyone was a suspect because, hey, maybe she found out he was cheating on his wife with her. This is creepy as shit. They didn't it was like those things were just in it just because they were in it. And
yeah, no, I mean, it just like, well, I mean, me and you came up with so many different scenarios to it, but I just don't understand why they didn't come up with any of these scenarios. And they were all just right there. I mean, the cop could have been like a really good hero in the movie. Andy was never put in danger. None of his friends were ever put in danger. Aubrey Plaza was kind of put in danger, but by the end, we all knew that they didn't have the guts to do anything.
well,
So
no,
she was never really in danger because you're like, oh yeah, right. Like,
yeah,
they never even
yeah.
so much as put any of the kids. Like, I just would have thought it would have been better to have the dysfunction. You don't even need the greasy guy find a doll and tweak with it to get it running to sell it on eBay and torture it like he did. And then boom, you have a really good movie.
Yeah, or even, you know what? I mean, even though that was one of the more interesting, like, and most Chucky-like kill in the movie, like, honestly, that was a better end setup. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, that creeper finds him at the end of the movie, like a mid-credit scene or something, and then he sells him on eBay. Yeah, that and then you can even keep going like the first 3 movies where he's still looking for Andy throughout those first 3 movies, just completely different motivations as to why.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, and it goes with like the whole thing in the store. Nothing really happened in there.
No,
there was a whole bunch of nothing really happened.
It's filler mess. It's filler mess. It's like they get to the end, they're like, oh, we need to capitalize on this, Amazon Echo thing that we pretty much, been setting up, and the dangers of it, obviously. Now, that being said, I do want to say, who the hell? So I get the whole, okay, Chucky can control your thermostat. First of all, why?
Yeah,
why would that be?
Like they tried to make it kind of futuristic, like in a little bit more futuristic setting, but then they went to the whole thing. They go to the shop, and he only ends up controlling a couple of drones and one evil teddy bear doll. It's almost like they just ran out of money.
Oh, totally. Not just ran out of money, they ran out of ideas. Like, that was their big... It was like they realized at the end, they're like, oh, dude, we've only really done, like, 3 instances of him being, evil-ish, right? And really even... well, no, I was going to say, one of those was pretty much self-defense, Yeah. Like, there was just... They felt like they hadn't shown enough, and so they just throw it all in at the last minute. Why the hell can't you just push this fucking thing? And they just threw it all in at the end, and it gives them an excuse to up the death count without actually showing anything. They're just showing a mess. It's a giant mess on screen. The class, a YouTube series called Kill Count today, right? Where he watches he'll watch horror movies and he'll break down each individual kill, right? And I was watching up the cornfield rave, right? Where Jason pretty much kill count, but as he says and he mentions on there, I mean, it's all just a mess, really. Noise, like, it's all nonsense. None of it adds to anything, and that's exactly what this is.
It was, at least it was shot well, and it made you feel like there was a high count. Like in this, it was like, I mean, they kind of showed you just enough and then the doors open and everybody gets out. Like,
Oh yeah.
in that Mark Hamill interview, Mark Hamill even said, like, I was looking forward to doing, more with, when he does his little evil voice, and he's pretty much said, yeah, they just that wasn't. He was like, that wasn't the direction they wanted, so I think they intentionally really just dulled it down.
Well, I really do think the biggest thing about it is that they were hoping to do, they were really hoping to do more of a build up to a sequel. I think they wanted so badly to convey this message and to separate it from the originals, that they just focused so much on how innocent Chucky was, and they never got to the point where he wasn't.
Yeah.
They never really got to the point where now he's malicious. Now he's, it's, they never went past the AI, honestly. Like,
no,
he never.
And honestly, they could have used it a lot more for a lot. They could have used it for a lot more to get more scares and just make a better movie. But then they didn't, and instead they just leaned on it the wrong way, because there's no supernatural force, so he doesn't have like really any personality at all, and it's like, oh, it's because he's AI. And then it's like, well, okay, but then why didn't he just control everything and we get like a really good final crazy massacre? And it's like, well, because of this. Why didn't he go after Andy? Well, it's because he is AI, but he really likes Andy. And, it got to the point, like you said, you look down at your phone, you're like, dude, I've been into this for only an hour, and I'm already ready to take a nap. Because by that point, you just knew... By that point, you knew nothing was going to happen to anybody, to any character that you cared about.
No. Well, and the worst part is, I think, is the first, 30 minutes, or the first at least maybe 20 minutes, because 30 minutes in, I think that's when I was starting to look at my phone, and I was like, all right, are we doing anything here? But, for the first 20 minutes, I remember, I was actually digging it. I was really digging it. I was thinking, wow, okay. I see where you're going with this. Chucky still looks stupid. He looks incredibly stupid, and I don't like the direction
there's no saving that.
No, there's no saving that at all. But other than that, I was like, okay, I can see what you're doing here. This looks okay. And oh Jesus, Elmo, yep. And again, the biggest problem for me was personality, okay? And again, I get it, and I like what they are trying to do. But the problem when you do AI, why so many of these AI things focus on the AI becoming sentient, right? Mm-hmm. Where it realizes what it is, and it rebels against that. And this didn't even have that. Go. This didn't even have that. This had Chucky just doing what he was programmed to do. He was supposed to be a best buddy, and so that's what he was going to do. He had his safety features removed, so he didn't have the, don't kill anybody, but he was programmed to imprint on Andy and then just be Andy's best buddy. And so that was all it was. He didn't decide anything for himself. It was all programmed. There was no personality in there whatsoever. And then to your earlier point, what we were discussing as far as, them not having the guts to do anything. We've discussed before about the fact that, a breaking point for me in a horror movie, and this is someone with children, right? With little children. Who can't watch the original Pet Sematary specifically because of, the funeral scene where that tiny arm pops out of the coffin. The tiny arm popping out of the tiny coffin is the worst. And yet, I will say this: if a horror movie is going to really get me, it has to show me, if it has children in it, it almost has to show me we're willing to do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't have to do it, but it has
No,
to give you the fear.
You have to make me think that you might. I can't see a damn thing. And this, I was given no reason to think that they might. Like,
No, I mean, yeah, like
And-
what you said. Like, I mean,
and-
they sold themselves out way too quick.
well, and the
this
premise
movie.
itself of the movie almost demands that they do. Like,
Yeah, and
And-
maybe not threatening him with Chucky, but like maybe he's a suspect. And they did do the he's a suspect thing that lasted all for about 20 seconds.
oh, they crammed that in at the very end. They're like, oh yeah, this was one of the biggest points of tension from the original. That's right. This was the biggest point of tension in the original movie. So let's go ahead and add that. You know, this whole is he crazy, is he murdering people thing. Let's add that on here. But no, they
Everything
couldn't
just
do it
seems to
right.
be like just an afterthought.
Well, and the premise of the movie itself, him only wanting to be Andy's best friend, not wanting anyone else to have anything to do with him, all that stuff. Well, why was I remember one of the kids' names was Pug, right? And that I remember that. It was Pug, and I forgot the girl's name. But they were the biggest threats to Chucky. You know, not the detective's mother. That had
Yeah.
she was in the film rarely, like randomly, just at her door. He'd been in her house once for dinner one time, right?
No, yeah, exactly.
And-
I mean, you just really, and they didn't really play. I don't think Audrey Plot. I think she did a good job, but they didn't really play her character up very well.
No, and that's another thing. He could have, she could have been an earlier victim even, because
Yeah,
I don't know,
they
buddy.
were going to try to go more dark with it, and
Oh,
doesn't have to be more gruesome. I mean,
No.
you didn't have any gore, and you didn't have really much. You had the creepy landlord. That was it.
Yeah, and that's what I like. People often think that when you say something wasn't scary enough or whatever, that it's reliant on gore, and it isn't. It's not about the gore. When I complain that there weren't enough deaths, it's not because there weren't inventive deaths. Like, don't get me wrong, that can be a draw. Like, if I'm watching a slasher, if I'm watching Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street, it's the variety and the crazy things that they're willing to do, right?
Oh yeah.
But with something like Child's Play, which the fear was always, his tiny, oh my God, where's he coming from thing. It was the tension built up when some idiot threw him behind the couch instead of, throwing him or just holding him in place where they could keep an eye on him, or putting him in a doggy kennel. Oh, Jesus Christ. Nope to this. What are we doing? Close this? What? All right. Like stuff like that. Why isn't that closing? Oh, hell no. Now Coraline's attacking my face. But like the problem is none of that tension was there, because we were like, okay, so they are clearly telegraphing everybody who's going to die in this.
Daddy,
Oh yeah.
What, sweetie?
go away.
Okay. Like, they're telegraphing all of it. Like, okay, the detective's mother, when she says, oh, you're my best friend, or something like that. It's like, oh yeah, no, well, I guess she's dead. Plain and
Oh, yeah.
simple. That's the end of that. What the? Did I close this? And everything, there was no suspense about any of it. You knew what was going to happen. You knew when it was going to happen. You knew how it was going to happen. Like the
No,
car.
It was like watching a Wes Craven movie.
yeah. It was, well, you're going to anger some people with that because, oh, Wes Craven's untouchable. No.
No, but I mean, it's the same thing. It's like, I mean, but I don't get it. You keep adding all these characters, and really the only reason to add any of these characters is to put them in some kind of harm's way, and they added them all and did nothing with them. And the worst part is, even if they didn't do anything with them, the worst part is, like you said, everybody by 40 minutes in, everybody knew it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you knew who was gone, you knew how. Plain and simple. Like man, I wanted to like it too. I wanted to like all the reviews were coming out. They were talking about how good it was and how surprised people were. And I don't know, maybe that partially hurt my experience. Maybe that was part of it.
I mean, well, me and you left, and we were kind of like, I mean, it wasn't that bad. And then, like, the 30-minute ride home, we're like,
yeah.
Okay, I got robbed.
Yeah.
I didn't even pay for my ticket. I got robbed.
Yeah. No, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, we really did. What the hell? Yeah, we left that theater and we were actually like, okay, I'm okay that it exists. I think was the exact words that I used was, it is okay that this exists. You know, it wasn't great, but it really was not bad. It did enough to be its own thing. And I'll stand by that. It did. But the more I think about it, it focused way too much on what I think were the wrong parts. It focused way too much on being its own thing and didn't realize that it was supposed to be a horror movie until halfway through. Or longer than halfway through.
I think they were just trying their best to distance themselves from the original, that they distanced themselves from so much of it that it didn't even resemble a horror movie.
No.
Or a good movie. Like, there were some things probably a lot of people don't like about the original, but there's also a lot of things just in the storytelling that made it a good thriller or good suspenseful movie.
Yeah. No, that's I think that's what gets forgotten in a lot of these things, man, because people remember the iconic characters. People remember Chucky because it's Chucky, right? And it's kind of how and Chucky kind of got the Freddy Krueger effect, right? Where in the first one, Freddy Krueger was just a murderer, right? He was killing people in their dreams, but he wasn't wisecracking. He wasn't, making little jokes. Same thing with the first Child's Play.
No. And that's what made. I mean, I don't love them, but I mean, I consider them good. Like, it follows a good formula.
Yeah. No, and they started focusing on the character, and that's what gets lost. Like, people forget there was a reason why, the horror loving community fell in love with the movies in the first place. There's a reason why they were greenlit for a sequel, and it wasn't because he was this lovable character who made little one-liners. It was because it was legitimately, it had something to show. It had a fear-invoking moments in it. Like the first Friday the 13th, I hate the second one, but the first one, was legitimately terrifying, right? And then virtually all of the other ones after that. Now, they still have some pretty horrifying scenes. I will never forget and I forget which one it was, where the girl is being fed to death. That will forever be just, it's nausea-inducing to me. That sticks out in my mind.
Good. I mean, they did go back to it, but
yeah,
I mean, it's still, I mean, they branded this movie as kind of a serious, dark a serious darker version of it with less slapstick and a much bigger budget, and I just don't see where they used it.
Oh, I don't see where they used the budget. Was it a much bigger budget? Because I thought this was like.
I'm sure you get a lot more for your money nowadays, but I mean, I don't see where.
I don't know if you. I don't know if you do. You know what? I'm just gonna walk towards this thing because I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. But yeah, like I like that they avoided CGI. I can't think of a single scene that had CGI. And
there was one or two, but it was just like buffer. Like
Yeah.
I mean, it went to help what they already had there in physical effects, which I'm okay with. But I do think the doll is just terribly awful.
No,
And-
the doll was
then,
awful.
And then they had the doll walk, and that was
Right
really
off the
creepy,
bat.
But,
Yeah.
but it
Well-
was like intentional.
But yes, but again,
and
like
it took away
because
so much of the creep factor.
yeah, like it even again, she knew that it was malfunctioning from the get-go. She'd seen it continually malfunctioning. So now you have this malfunctioning robot in your house, and it's so hard to believe that it killed your cat.
Yeah.
Like,
And the thing moves. I mean,
yeah, you know
already.
that it moves like a person. It just keeps showing up places. This isn't like, and because of the way they did it, it had to. It had to move. It had to be designed to move because there weren't any. If it wasn't designed to move, then the whole premise of it just randomly moving. I mean, how? Because there's no supernatural in it. It's all robotic. So how would it randomly move? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then there's just so many things that it kind of did on its own. It took away from like what you're saying, like it gets thrown behind the couch. Well, it's gone. Well, of course it could be gone because it's been moving the whole movie.
Yeah.
And then like you can power it off, you can turn it off. Whereas
Yeah.
in the first one, it wasn't. It wasn't like that. I think they could have done if they wanted to get rid of all the supernatural stuff. They did, but then you have to make up for it somehow, and they just didn't.
Are you all right?
Yeah. All of it. What, buddy?
This place.
The monsters didn't come home. See, there are no monsters. Philip won't be sleeping tonight.
What's that doing here?
I don't know. I think they're good guys though. Not good guy dolls though, because wait, they weren't even called good guy dolls.
No, they were called Buddy, like with the iPhone I symbol.
Might be able to open it from the inside.
Oh my God! I just realized that. What, bud?
So what is that on your blanket?
What is on my blanket? There's nothing on my blanket. See? God, that
What's on
fucking
your
bear.
blanket?
That bear is so horrifying.
On a thing.
You saw it on the
Dude,
blanket?
You quit messing with that bear.
It's on my back now, man.
But no, I mean that's like my thing is like what me and you were talking about. I don't even was it rated R? Did we ever look that up?
No.
Because this
Wait.
movie could have been rated PG.
You know what? I think it was. Oh yeah, I think we discussed that. With what it did, it really could have been rated PG. There was maybe just one or two.
They must have just added a couple extra swear words.
Yeah.
In it to get an R rating or something, just to brand it as
Yeah.
this is real child's play. It's going to get the R from the MPAAs. Like you could have probably made more money and just done a PG or you could have done PG-13.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't have changed anything.
Connected
No.
somehow.
No, it really would not have. Which again, like, it's fine because it's not just about the gore. It's about the suspense of it.
No, I wish
And-
there was like 10 more people that got ripped down the hallways or the aisles in that
Anything we can use?
in the store, whether you saw it or not. It just because that whole scene was just one big giant letdown.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, and I don't know. Regardless of what they did with that scene, I think I was gonna. I don't know that I was gonna enjoy it. So.
No, I mean, it started off kind of good with him being in the guy's helmet and everything, but I mean, they just took the teeth out of it. I mean, I like supernatural stuff. The rogue AI was a good idea to make it something different, but it's like I would have much rathered, if anything, Andy is good friends with him. Then he's no longer good friends with him, and that hurts his feelings. He's hanging out with his new friends, and he kills the boyfriend. They find out about it, and they throw him down the trash compactor, and the really weird guy gets him, and maybe the really weird guy's into some really weird stuff, and that's what makes Chucky even more sadistic,
Why didn't it open?
and he just really goes, and then from there, I think you take the leash off. You just let him go full, but they never let him go full haywire ever.
That's it.
No.
He was always
Yeah.
so toned down.
Seems like
Well,
Everything
and-
about him was toned down.
unlocked.
Yes. Well, and a lot of stuff it didn't make sense within the context of the rules that the movie makes. So
To her.
the creeper,
It looks like we need
the creepy guy who just looks like creepy guy, right? The Jack Black creeper.
Yes, Jack Black's like cousin.
Yeah. So he gets so excited. He's like, haha, eBay. What, bud? Jesus. No, he didn't make my house scary. There's no scary house. No, bud. What?
So why did he make a mess in your home?
Because sometimes teddy bears make messes in people's homes. Watch your videos. It's okay.
I want to watch.
You can. You can.
I can watch.
Yes, you can. Yes.
Can watch your game.
Yes, you can watch the game. That's fine. If it starts scaring you, though, just don't watch, okay? Because I'm a horrible father.
Yes.
Well, this also isn't like...
You should get him to watch that new Pet Cemetery.
Yeah, no. I don't even know if I want to watch it at this point. But...
I'll give... That new Pet Cemetery was like 259 million times better than this movie me and you watched. Because even though they changed
you seem to
some
be
stuff,
you seem to be in the minority on that. Both of us seem to be in the minority on this movie. But then like everybody's also hating. Maybe the tables have shifted, Rob. Maybe you and I are now on the same page with some things. Cause
well, I mean, even though they changed some stuff with Pet Cemetery, they still did not take any of the teeth out of it. They leaned in where they could. They leaned in way harder than the original did. It looks better than the original. It's acted better than the original.
Really?
Besides the character that plays Judd, John Lithgow is awesome, and I mean, I just think there's a lot of people out there that just linger on to the originals as being the greatest thing in the world, which some of them are, but this is Pet Cemetery. This isn't Friday the 13th or anything else. I mean, this is
over there.
this is a Stephen King movie, and Stephen King movies have always been notoriously awful.
Well,
they just have.
honestly,
not even like oh well, they didn't really stick to the original material too well. I mean, they've just been notoriously bad.
They have. That being said, I have a newfound appreciation. I hated it when I first saw it, except for the ending. But The Mist, I have a newfound appreciation for The Mist.
No, The Mist was good.
Yeah, when I saw it in theaters, I was like, God, it's just another Stephen King movie. Be in Stephen King movies. But no, I thoroughly enjoy The Mist. But I will also say, as to the point of remakes, like the thing is, remakes in and of themselves, I have no problem with. Especially, I'm more excited for remakes of movies that I hated.
Oh yeah.
Like, okay, The Hills Have Eyes. I can't stand the original. The remake I thought was fantastic. The Crazies, the original is nigh unwatchable for me. The
I mean, yeah,
remake
no, the
is
Crazy's original is awful. The remake is very good. I mean,
yeah,
the same goes with Hills Have Eyes and a lot of these other ones. But I mean, like, I don't get it. I don't understand. It's almost like with Mark Hamill. Like, I don't really like Star Wars. I never was a cartoon person, so I understand he's got a lot of love from the Batman animated series.
yeah,
But it's like okay, we're gonna get Mark Hamill. Okay, that's great. That's awesome. You're gonna get Mark Hamill. And why are we getting Mark Hamill? Because he's Luke Skywalker? No, 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 no. Here it comes. It's a big ad campaign. Here it comes because he's an incredibly talented voice actor. A lot of people may not realize the range that he has and everything else. And we're just not going to use any of that though. Like,
yeah.
we're not going to let him have any range. He is going to be the exact same tone from beginning to end. Maybe
No,
with
yeah.
like a little glimpse of craziness to it, and
Yeah.
then we're gonna dial it all back.
Yeah. Yeah, there was like one or two moments like, okay, now he's starting to nope, he's right back to he's just sounds innocent, you know.
And I mean, and some of them weren't even like full lines. It was like a growl, or he would get one word out or something. It's like, well, what's the point of even doing all this?
Yeah. No, man. And you know what? Remember how when we first left the theater, we were okay with it and we discussed it more and we were disliking it more. Right now, that solid 5 that I had given it is like much lower. Like right now,
I mean, honestly, I would give this movie
like
I would give this movie a solid like 2.5 stars.
Oh, I'm down to 2 after discussing it. The more I think about a movie, the worse
because
it gets.
I mean, and like the reason why I would give it 2 or 2.5 instead of like we could just do like a 5-star rating. I'm gonna give it I'll give it on a 5-star rating. I'm just gonna give it 2 straight up.
Oh,
and
no.
The number one reason is because like I don't hate it to the point of like I hope it's destroyed or anything.
No.
But
No.
I'll never watch it again.
No. I mean, even that's not even. There are some things where I'm like, I really should give that a second chance because I was in the wrong mindset when I watched it. But this has gotten worse the more I've thought about it. Like
That's what I mean. Like,
yeah.
I go back and rewatch threes and stuff all the time.
Oh yeah,
Like, I'll never revisit this movie again.
There have been movies that, like, I'm a huge Predators fan, right? I'm one of the rare people where I like a lot of the sequels that people hate. Like, so Ghostbusters 2, I think is phenomenal, right? A lot of people.
I like Ghostbusters too.
I like it almost better than the original.
I can't go that far, but I mean,
There
for a
are
long
parts.
time, I liked it equal.
Yeah. No, there's no ghosts, nobody. No, buddy, there's no ghost. There's no ghost. Don't worry. It's okay. No. But like Predator 2, absolutely loved. Like
Yeah,
people,
I like Predator 2 as well.
people hate on Predator 2 all the time. I prefer Predator 2 to Predator 1. Okay? Straight up. I prefer Danny Glover. You know.
Yeah, Predator 1. I mean, it's okay, but I don't know if I prefer which one better. But I think Predator 2 is just more 80s and more crazy for me.
Oh yeah. I upset Marissa constantly because anytime I have the opportunity, anytime I have to say the words the other side, it could be the other side of anything, doesn't matter. But I always go, the other side. The
Yes.
other side. And she fucking hates it. She hates it. And I love it. And I can't not do it. Every time. Because that movie is my spirit animal. I don't know why, but I love it. Anyways,
I even like the newest Predator movie, just because
well, see,
I
well,
liked what
that's
they did. I thought it
this
had
is
really great comic relief with Thomas Jane.
well,
And,
this is actually
and Keegan Peele or Keegan or whatever his name is. And
Keegan Michael Peele, yeah.
And I like it.
See, here's the thing. Oh no, Keegan Michael Key. No, I got it. Jesus, yeah, that's a cat. But this is my point though. Like Predators, and then The Predator. I hated those movies. Predators, I felt the need to rewatch it, to go back, rewatch it, give it a second chance. Okay.
Yeah.
And I watched it, and to be fair, I did not like it the second time either. I liked some of the things I did. I didn't like it. This is, again, like Predator, The Predator, this latest one. I have no urge to rewatch that. I understand. Okay, you liked it. That's fine. This will be another one of those things that you and I completely disagree on. I hated The Predator.
It's just a completely better movie.
Oh, swear to God, no. Then Predators?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Maybe.
I can't stand Adrian Brody.
I can. Well, I can understand that. And again, when I rewatched Predators, I did not like it. I still did not like it. But at least I was like, okay, well, I confirmed that.
Yeah.
The Predator, I hated with a passion. It was that was a mess of a film. And I like Keegan Michael Key. I hate Thomas Jane.
How can you hate Thomas Jane?
Because Thomas Jane is a terrible actor. Oh my God!
Have you
really?
not seen The Punisher?
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm.
Do you know who you're talking to? Do you know who you're talking to? I tried to convince myself that I loved The Punisher. The Punisher is my favorite.
It's better than the Dolph Lundgren version.
Oh yeah, everything is. No, oh, did I die? What? You can die?
You can't kill a toddler.
Apparently you can. I just fell off something, I guess. No, the Ray Stevenson Punisher is the definitive Punisher, sir.
No,
oh, are you kidding?
He's all puffy looking.
He's supposed to be. The Punisher is a big,
he's...
intimidating. I can't see anything. The Punisher is supposed to be big and intimidating, man.
And John Travolta was so good.
Oh my God! See, nope, we're not doing this, Rob. We're not doing this.
John Travolta, Will Patton. I mean, Roy Schneider. Roy Schneider had a cameo in My Punisher.
Well, you can keep your Punisher, Rob. Okay.
Well, I'm going to keep it tucked underneath my pillow with one hand on it at all times.
All right, hold on. I'll be right back. We're gonna finish discussing this shit. I'll be back. All right, sorry. Your horrible take on the Punisher demanded that I expel bodily fluids, and none of the good kind. So.
Oh man, it's such a good movie.
I know.
I think I'm going to just go back and rewatch it again tonight, even if I have to pay money to rent it.
I'll let you have my copy.
Oh,
you can,
for real?
Yeah. I'll hook you up, man. I got you covered.
See, and you even have a copy of it.
Yes, I told you. I tried to convince myself that I enjoyed it. I love the Punisher, man. My favorite characters are Captain America, Punisher, and Luke Cage, man. Like, anything therein, I'm going to watch it. Plain and simple. And
Captain America would have been better if Thomas Jane played him.
Coraline's yelling at you for your... Thomas Jane is terrible.
Thomas Jane is awesome. Hung was great. Punisher was great.
You know who I think
Predator
you're thinking
was
of?
Great.
I think you're thinking of... God, now I can't remember his name.
I'm not thinking of Christopher Lambert. I'm thinking of
No.
Thomas Jane.
No, I know. The guy who kind of looks like Thomas Jane, but more handsome. The guy, he was in Thank You for Smoking.
No, I'm not thinking of him, and he's not more handsome than Thomas Jane.
Yes, he is.
He was in those terrible Batman movies.
Thomas Jane, like... Thomas Jane looks like him. Was it Aaron Eckhart? I think it's Aaron Eckhart.
Yeah,
Thomas Jane looks like Aaron Eckhart if Aaron Eckhart actually smoked like 5 packs a day.
Thomas Jane's amazing. You'll never change. You'll never change my theory about Thomas Jane.
Well, I know, but you also like Kevin Costner. Okay?
I love Kevin Costner.
Yes, you do.
Tony, don't play that down and turn that into like. It's so far past that.
Well,
Although I am beginning to develop a thing for Jake Gyllenhaal, that's beginning to disturb my wife almost as much as Kevin Costner.
wait, almost as much as Kevin Costner disturbs your wife, or almost as much as
No,
your love is disturbing Kevin Costner? Like
No. Kevin doesn't know about Jake.
Well, you know why? Because they've never acted in a movie together because they're on 2 different levels.
Well, no, because Kevin's too busy making the #1 show on TV right now, Yellowstone, and Jake Gyllenhaal is still trying to be friends with Ryan Reynolds. Which just doesn't make any sense because he's so much better.
Is that really? Hold on. Let's go back. Is that really the #1 show on television, or are we just talking out our...
It's #1. Yeah, it's #1 show on cable TV.
I've never heard of it.
Well, it's because you intentionally close your eyes.
Is he in the show, or is he just like producing it?
No, he's in it.
Oh, and people are watching it?
People are all over that show.
Are they though?
So good. It's so good.
Are
anyway,
we
back
sure?
to Child's Play and how awful it was.
It was so awful. I would not have been surprised to see a Kevin Costner cameo.
Okay. Now we got to get to the part where we'll name movies that we would rather watch. I would honestly rather watch the original Crazies and Hills Have Eyes over this movie.
Oh yeah. No, definitely. I would rather watch Dear Dolly, I believe is what it was called.
Oh God.
I would rather watch Full Moon's entire catalog, I think, than watch this again. Asylum.
But see,
I would watch so much Asylum.
I could do Puppet Master over this for sure.
Oh well, the first. I want to say the first two. The first two were solid, man. The first two at least were solid.
I could do the first 3 when they really start to get weird.
Yeah, they started becoming unwatchable. They did. But the worst movie I've ever seen, and I own it, I believe, was George Romero sold the rights or lost the rights to Day of the Dead at one point.
Oh.
And I'm not even talking about the remake of Day of the Dead, which if you haven't seen it, Oh my
I've not
god.
seen it.
Oh my god. You know Bub?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So they reimagined Bub in this. So they took the concept of a semi-conscious, good, quote unquote, good guy zombie, right? Which Bub really wasn't. But they took that because people loved him. So in this, they made him a soldier, right? Who was a vegan.
Oh God.
And so when he gets bitten as a zombie, he has no. I guess in this universe, vegans won't eat people because, well, they're vegans. Why would he want it? Why would he all of a sudden crave meat? That'd be silly. That's one of many problems with it. It's Mili Savini or whatever her name is, the person who had a career.
Ving Rhames in that one.
Ving Rhames is in that. Yeah, I think he's supposed to play the brother of his character in Dawn of the Dead remake. But I think they weren't able to actually make them in the same universe because of how bad it was. I think it was one of those.
God.
Like, it was so bad that they were like, yeah, we're not connecting these, because the Day of the Dead remake was actually good.
God.
Like, I would rather watch that. But no, what I'm talking about, Day of the Dead 2, Contagium.
This just sounds bad.
Oh, it's beyond. It is beyond bad, sir. This was, I want to say it's an asylum picture. Oh my God. Contagium. First of all, I'm not even sure contagium is a word.
It doesn't sound like one.
No, but like, it has nothing to do with Day of the Dead. It has nothing to do with any kind of Romero zombies. It's kind of, well, it might not even be Day of the Dead 2 Contagium. It might just be, I think it is, though. It's like the Troll 2 effect, which I would watch over Child's Play, by the way. I would watch Troll 2.
I've never seen any of those.
You haven't seen Troll 2?
No, I've not seen Troll 2.
Are you kidding me?
No, I know. Everybody told me I needed to see it. I've never seen it.
Are you kidding me?
No,
Rob, you
I'm not
co-host
kidding you.
a cult classic horror podcast.
Yeah, but I mean, you know as well as I do, some movies just slip by me. Even
Rob,
the movies we're
Troll-
supposed to watch.
Troll 2. Yeah, true. Troll 2 is dude, that is so upsetting.
Yes.
See, I'm gonna message Danny now. Yes.
Yeah, don't you message Danny about that because
Oh, no.
Tell him to change your shirt.
No, Troll 2. Troll 2 is 100%. That has to be discussed on the show. Are you kidding me, Rob?
I mean, it just doesn't sound like it's cult or classic.
Oh, it is 150% cult, and it is 152% classic. Are you?
I mean, I had to watch George Romero's Martin. I
Dude.
mean, I don't know how many more of these I have in me.
Dude, the only thing cringier than Troll 2 is the documentary they made about Troll 2.
That's what I remember. I remember
best
people talking
worst
about
movie?
the documentary. Yeah.
Oh my God, it's God, I feel so horrible for watching the documentary because so the guy who plays the father in Troll 2 in real life is now a dentist, right? And
God.
he had no idea, like nobody who was in that had any idea that it got this massive cult following. Like, they thought it just disappeared forever and just went about their lives. He became a dentist. And then these documentary film crew, yeah, Elmo, this documentary film crew finds him and informs him, dude, like, your movie is huge for being one of the worst movies ever made. And
it's
this
so
guy,
good.
like, but this guy, like, changes his whole life because of it. He starts going to those horror conventions, and he's so desperately telling people, he's like, hey, you remember this movie, Troll 2? I was in that. And, like, it's almost like, yeah. And then, like, so it shows how when he first goes on this little tour and they go meet all the other actors, or at least some of them from the movie, and their lives are all just horrible train wrecks. Yeah. And like you just see this guy who became so excited, like he just slowly starts becoming deflated. Like as people stop coming to his booth at the horror cons.
Oh, no.
Like,
yeah, see, that's not the kind of documentary I want to see.
oh,
It
but
sounds
I mean,
very sad.
oh, it is. Well, except when you see the director of Troll 2, and like
Elmo.
you kind of,
Elmo.
yeah, Elmo.
Yeah.
Like
Elmo.
he is just a jerk, and he deserves all of the hatred coming his way. Like when he finds out people are still doing like midnight showings of his movie, he thinks it's some kind of classic, and so he goes to a show and he hears everybody laughing at it, and it breaks his heart. But he's also a jerk. And the
I
first
guess
Troll,
we need to have like a movie night.
we do need to have a movie night. All right, that's gonna be. We've. This has gone on so long. We need to. All right, I'm gonna end on this, okay, and then we can play some actual games. But we need to get together. We're gonna watch Troll 2, but it does star Louis. What's her name? Louis Dreyfus. Okay. We have to do
That's
this,
awesome.
and then we're gonna discuss it. Or actually, no, you need to discuss this on the podcast. Is what needs to happen.
Well, I mean, we still have to do it for sure.
Oh, definitely. We'll be
You
doing
have to
this.
be a guest host.
All right, if you guys do Troll 2, I will more than happily jump in on that, because yeah, I'm not watching Pumpkinhead 47, but I will watch Troll 2 day and night. And the fact that
no,
you've
we'll
never
have to-
seen it is, oh, you have to.
Yeah, we'll have to do it for sure.
All right. So
Are we still live?
yes, we are. All right, enjoy your pee. We're gonna end
Oh
this
no,
here.
no, no! Keep it going.
All right, we'll let Rob finish, and then that'll be the end of our, I guess, our first full-on live stream. Might do more of these, but
No, this was this was good.
yeah. Well, and if it recorded well and it's not all cut up and stuff, maybe we'll do this from now on and just, not just do straight recordings.
No, I like this. Except we have to figure out a way to put our intro in it.
Yeah, I might need to just maybe I'll download some software for the laptop or something where I can rip it from YouTube and re-upload. I don't know. We'll figure something out, man. But
Awesome.
because I'm not dealing with that capture card stuff. I'm not that guy. I'm not gonna. I don't want to. I'll break my computer. I'll break everything. So, all right. So yeah, that'll be our first full-on thing. And Coraline just dropped to the floor. What's up, sweetie? Okay. I'm gonna make my daughter a bottle real quick. All right, man.
Okay.
I'll talk to you later. After I get these kids to sleep, we'll, if you're still up and on, we'll play some Call of Duty or something. Cool?
Okay, man. Yeah, hit me up.
All right, later.